Back we come on Frogs today. Welcome in and time in for our headliner right now as we welcome in one of the legends of TCU athletics. In fact, he is the patriarch, I guess is the best way to put it, for TCU athletics. The head golf coach at TCU, Bill Montigel. Come on in, Coach.
Ryan, you're very kind.
You're the best, man.
How are you?
I'm good. Have a seat.
All right, thanks.
I think I've got the numbers right here. 44 years you've been on campus. Is that right?
I came in '79. That's right.
Is that right? It's about 40. Wow, it's been a while. So what was it like when it was all gravel roads back then?
Well, it's actually a lot different. I remember when we'd drive down University to TCU. I mean, there's absolutely nothing on the street.
Right.
There was a car dealership or something there. So it's changed a lot.
You got here as a basketball coach. I don't know if folks know that you were on Jim Killer Killingsworth's staff and had great success. I mean, that was a real good time for TCU basketball, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, absolutely. When Killer got the job, they actually weren't very good in the beginning, but by the time he left, we qualified and went to the NCAA tournament. Played Marshall in the first round and lost to Notre Dame, but yeah, we won the conference a couple of years, and working with Killer was the best. He was awesome.
Yeah, and here's the thing that Coach Montigel has had a ton of success. We all know that in golf, but you're also the guy that claim to fame is you recruited Jamie Dixon to come to TCU. That's a feather in the cap as well.
Yeah, I was out in California recruiting at kind of a summer league game, and there was this kind of small, thin kid that could shoot it and just dives on the floor, and I said, God, this guy'd be perfect for Killer, and we got him in here to visit, and he came, and it worked out great for him.
What was that recruiting like? I mean, were there other schools that were in on Coach at the time?
To be honest with you, there weren't very many other schools on him, and it was one of those deals where, at the time we really needed another guard. Actually, we signed him, and we signed Scotty Brooks, who was here for a little bit, but yeah, he wasn't really heavily recruited. We were working on a couple other guys and lost them, and we got Jamie, and it worked out so good. Carvin Holcomb came in that same year.
Pretty good class.
Yeah, no doubt.
By the way, those two guys, Scotty Brooks and Jamie Dixon, turned out to be pretty good coaches too.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, they learned it all from you guys, man. So then you transitioned to the golf world. What was that transition like originally for you?
Well, it was quite interesting because when I first got the job, I was really into playing golf. And I kind of thought that if I got the golf job, that I could practice every single day.
Right.
And then I realized that was kind of the last thing that you do. You're like any other coach. The coaches at TCU that play tennis aren't playing tennis every day, or the swimming coaches and swimming every day. So I started realizing that most of my energy started going into recruiting and spending time with the kids and traveling and getting a schedule and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And it has worked out now. You look over your history, Coach. I got the numbers from Stephen Schoen, the PR guy for golf. 35th year as a head coach, 20 NCAA tournaments. You finished top 12 7 times in those, 16 All-Americans. What a track record. Did you imagine that at all when you began?
I really didn't know what I was going to do when I got the job. I mean, I didn't have a job, so I felt like this was going to be a fun opportunity.
Right.
I'm very appreciative back in the day when Frank Wendiger offered me the job and I got it. But I really didn't have any expectations at all. We've been very fortunate through the years to sign a lot of really good players. We've had guys like J.J. Henry, who've been on the PGA Tour, and guys like Tom Hoagie that are on the tour, won a tournament this year out at Pebble Beach, getting the opportunity to play at Colonial, and then Paul Barjon just got his tour card. So we've had good players, and that's obviously helps a lot. Yeah,
you think about the 16 All-Americans. That says a little bit right there. One of the things that Frank Wendiger has always said I remember asking him, how did you decide on Bill Montigel? And he said, well, I knew he could recruit, and if you could recruit, that's half the battle. And he said, I knew he liked golf, I knew he played golf, but I knew that he would understand the psychology of dealing with student athletes in golf. That does take up a little bit of time, doesn't it?
Well, that's one thing I've always been pretty good at, I feel like, is being able to kind of be around kids, and they're all so different. And, one guy is one way, and another guy's completely different, is kind of trying to figure out what makes them click. And, some guys you can kind of get on them and, get after them, and they'll play better. And other guys, they don't respond to that very good. So you just got to kind of figure out what's going to be good for each particular guy.
How's the college golf game changed over the last 35 years?
Well, it's actually incredible how good these guys are. And every school has got really good players. And, back in the day, there was probably, 20 schools, 15 schools that would have a legit chance of winning winning the NCAA. Now, I mean, honestly, there's about 60 schools. If you can just get to the finals, you got a chance. But the kids are longer, they're straighter. They all work out now. They got workout programs where they're, more fit. Most of these kids have got their own swing teachers that, they work with. So yeah, it's changed a lot.
Yeah, but it's changed for the better.
Oh, absolutely.
How about the transfer portal and the NIL? Has that started to affect college golf at all?
Well, I actually really like the transfer portal. Unfortunately, we did lose one of our guys to it, but I think as time goes on, we'll end up getting more kids coming in than we will have leaving. And but the transfer portal is there, and NIL is slowly but surely coming into effect. We'd like to use the NIL a little differently. We'd like to have something that if they come to TCU, they play really good, that they'll have the opportunity when they leave that somebody can kind of help them to try to sponsor them on the PGA
Love
Tour.
that idea, yeah.
Versus when you come here and you give a kid as a freshman, whatever it is, $10,000, $100,000.
Right.
Are they really going to use that money wisely? But if you give it to them at the end, work hard, we'll try to have a little something for you at the end.
I like that because that's half the struggle with trying to get on the tour, right?
Absolutely.
It's finding sponsors.
Most of these kids don't really have sponsors at
Right.
the end. But so if you had a little something for them, if they played well in college, kind of dangle that there for them. Like play good in college,
Yep.
help the team, help yourself, and then we'll try to help you a little bit.
You think about the advantages here at TCU as well for you. Obviously, in the Metroplex is one big advantage, but you get to play Colonial, you get to play Shady, you get access to some really good golf courses.
That's one of the things that's really made the job great is the country club pros have reached out to us, and we've reached out to them, and we have incredible golf courses to play, and we have a different course each day. And I'm going to kind of go through those because I think it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
But on Mondays, every Monday we use the Ridgely Golf Course.
Okay.
Every Tuesday we use Mira Vista.
Okay.
Every Wednesday we use Colonial. Every Thursday we use Shady Oaks. And every Friday we use Rivercrest. And then on Saturday mornings we get the kids up early and we go play Rockwood. So the kids have incredible opportunities every single day to play on different golf courses, different greens. And J.J. Henry has been quoted as saying he thinks that's what helped him get on the tour is that I got to play different grasses, different greens, different everything to kind of get ready for the PGA Tour. So we feel like that really helps us.
Couple that with the fact that you have Colonial, the tournament, the Charles Schwab Invitational here in town. That's a big deal.
Absolutely.
And I think that's also a recruiting advantage. You have the Ben Hogan Award, which is the College Golf Heisman, which is here in Fort Worth.
Absolutely.
I mean, that makes it all that more inviting, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
all that really helps us. But also at Colonial, we have a collegiate tournament. And
I'm glad you brought that up.
could be considered, or it is considered, probably the strongest field
Yes.
in college golf from all the best teams in the country, from the Oklahoma States, Texas, Oklahoma, Stanford, USC, and then you can kind of go back to Florida and Wake Forest. I mean,
Right.
it's incredible the teams that are coming in for that tournament.
October.
It's usually right around October the 1st.
I think it's October 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, I
this
think
year,
you're right.
something like
And
that.
it's open to the public.
Yeah.
It's free. Anybody can come out there and watch it.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible opportunity for people to watch the future stars of the PGA Tour.
Yeah, it's just going to get bigger too, I feel like.
No question.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. Always a pleasure, my man.
Thank
Good
you
to
very
see
much.
you.
I appreciate you having me
Yeah,
on.
you're the best. You know that. The patriarch of TCU Athletics, whose son, by the way, is a pretty good basketball coach as well, Thomas Montigel, does a terrific job. Great administrator. He's going to be an AD one day, don't you think?
I think he'd be great at it.
Do you think he'll hire us? Can you work on
I'll
that?
probably be the first guy he fires.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Bill Montigel, head golf coach here at TCU.